Growing tomato seedlings at home is an easy and effective way of saving a ton of money when growing tomatoes in the backyard garden and even on large scale production as well. But there is one simple trick that a lot of gardeners are skipping out on that is ultimately costing them production over time in their garden. Stick around for today's video to find out how to make sure you are maximizing the growth of your tomato plants. Hello everybody, welcome back to Expedition Homestead. As a friendly reminder, if you love today's video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. And if you've not already done so, please subscribe to the channel, hit that bell button so you're notified of every time we come out with another great gardening video for you guys. We have a ton of tips and tricks that you guys will definitely benefit from knowing. So tomato seedlings, we're gonna be talking all about that today, and one simple trick that a lot of people skip out on when growing them. So generally people will start their tomato seedlings in a 72 cell tray like this one, or maybe one a little bit smaller, whatever the case may be. Usually they will grow in these trays until the point where they transplant outdoors. But there's one really important thing that we've got to do before we transplant them outdoors. We want a couple of weeks in this process before we put them outside too. And we're only going to need a few materials to do so. So let's show you guys what this entails. It's very easy, simple process, and it's going to really maximize the amount of fruit that you're gonna get from your tomatoes. Trust me on this one, it is incredible how much of a difference that this is going to make with your tomato plants compared to just planting them right outside as is. All right, so a couple of things that we're gonna need is a larger cup to put these tomato seedlings in. I personally recommend using red solo cups. They're really easy to prepare as well. You'll just take a stack of cups, the length of your drill bit here, and just like this, all of these cups, this whole stack here now has drainage holes in them, so they are ready to put our tomato seedlings into, just like that. The next thing that I highly recommend, it's not absolutely necessary, but if you want the healthiest plants possible, you're gonna want mycorrhizal fungi. You can buy bags of this at your local gardening supply store. Highly recommend using mycorrhizal fungi when doing this process. And then we'll need soil. What I did here was I mixed some regular old potting soil along with about 1/3 compost. So it's gonna be a pretty rich combination of soil there. The soil is not as important in this step as what I'm about to show you guys with these tomato seedlings. This is what's really crucial. So we'll just pop out our tomato seedling plug, sprinkle some of this mycorrhizal fungi around the roots, and then what we're going to do is place it in this red solo cup. So the leaves here are just above the rim of the cup. You see that, ladies and gentlemen? Right there, just above the rim of the cup. This is the most important part of this process. So this tomato seedling is now buried in the soil. The entire stem of this seedling is under soil at this point. Which brings me to this point. I get a lot of comments on the channel about leggy tomato seedlings. So many people are worried about their tomato seedlings being leggy, when in all reality, when you're growing seedlings, up until this point, they can be about a month and a half old. It really doesn't matter if they're leggy. In fact, I would rather have some nice and leggy seedlings to start off with so I can bury them deep like this. What this is ultimately going to do is this tomato plant is now going to use that entire portion of the stem to grow roots from. Now the entire structure, the base of our tomato plant that we're going to transplant outside in about a month from now is going to be so much stronger than it would have been if we kept in these small cells and not transplanted them into a larger cup or had not planted them deep. You guys need to transplant your tomato seedlings deep in order to make sure that you have incredible harvests this year. So I'm gonna do the same thing to the rest of these, but my son really wants to take part. So that's not gonna be in this video, but either way, was this not simple or what? Just bury your tomato seedlings deep. I recommend, strongly recommend using some sort of mycorrhizal fungi, and then mix in a sort of compost with the soil so when those roots do start growing, they can grow as strong and as healthy as possible. And in case anybody is wondering, before I go, these are the tomato varieties that we're gonna be growing this year. It's the Super Sweet 100, the Rutgers tomato, beefsteak, and Cherokee purple heirloom variety, which I had an incredible time growing last year. Thanks for everybody for watching today's video. Happy gardening, plant them deep, and we'll see you in the next one. Take care, everyone.